All right, and we're back. Welcome everyone back to my comfy couch. I feel like we haven't been on in a while. How's everyone doing? Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Say
everybody. Right.
hi when y'all get in the chat, okay? Let us know you're here. Say hi, engage in the comments, and don't forget to share. Let someone know this is going to be a hot topic. I'm hoping it should be a good discussion. Say hi, share the video. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're always checking us out. Show us some love and subscribe, okay? So, our normal kind of on hey Charlie Tori, Adina, and Daddy. They're our normal kind of go live, and we have a special guest, Aaron, on the line. Aaron, this is your second time on the show, right?
Right, right.
Thank you so much for being here, and you
Thank,
came through last minute for me. I really appreciate it.
no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, Aaron, you want to tell them about your show real quick? Where can they find you? Because you do your podcast too.
Oh, okay. I have a podcast called The Man Cave. Comes on Facebook and YouTube. Usually Sundays at 7 p.m. I have another podcast that's taking fire called
Ooh,
All the Way There on Sundays 4:30.
all right.
Check that one out. Facebook, YouTube,
All right. Thank you
Instagram.
so much, Aaron. So check him out and thank you all for being on again. So tonight's topic, and I'm Nikki, your host. Tonight's topic, we're talking about preferences and how that impacts our dating life. You start off young and you're like, okay, my partner's gonna have this, they're gonna be like this, they're gonna be like this, and reality hits you.
Mhm.
And things, might change. So let's have a discussion about, should we have preferences? What's the positive, what's the negative of that, and how has that impacted our relationships? But before we start, while people are getting in, I want you guys, let's talk about that Kiki Palmer situation. Y'all heard
Mhm.
about that? Why everybody just what's up, y'all?
Yeah,
For
it was
those
a
folks like myself who don't know what happened, could you just give us a brief
Yes.
synopsis?
Great. Thank you, Thaddy. So a brief synopsis. So it's my understanding, that's the legal talk now that I work for the government. It's my understanding that Kiki Palmer went out to an Usher event. I think it was at his house. He was performing live. And, she recently had a child with a gentleman, I think about 5 or 6 months ago, right? So she's kind of like a new mom. This is her first kid. And we don't know if she's with the boyfriend or not. But all we know is that she went out to this concert, and she was wearing kind of like a see-through dress with like a body kind of suit underneath with her cheeks out. So in this video, you see her like Usher kind of serenading her, and then you see her like being all, oh my God, oh my God, and turning around and showing him her cheeks and turning around and just gushing all over Usher. So it looks like the baby daddy went on social media and said something to the effect of, it's the outfit for me, like you're a mom. So that really brought this news thing crazy, trying to say, okay, is he shaming her for showing her body, for being a mom? Is it really inappropriate? And he came back and was saying, hey, this is my family. Like, I have standards, and why am I getting blamed for having standards? So what do y'all think about that? Do you think it was okay for her to wear that outfit? Do you think it was okay for him to say something like, let's talk about it first? What do you think about her outfit? Do you think it was inappropriate? Yes or no?
Mm. I would say I would say no because
No.
I mean, yeah, I would say no because I don't think she considered his feelings when she did that. I mean, if maybe he has a different expectation of the relationship than she does. Maybe he was just a donor. I don't know, but he obviously is deeper into the relationship than she is. So if she went out and he thought that that was inappropriate, and chances are, if they live together, he's probably said something to her before she left, and she just ignored it, which made him in turn go to the weak way and start
Mm.
talking to her all through social media, which was lame. That's some in-house stuff that we should never know about.
Yeah, I agree with it, like keeping it in house. So you thinking it was her intention? Like if she went out, thinking like there was nothing wrong with it, that it's okay because she didn't have malice with it, or like, what do you mean by it's her intention?
Well, I mean, if they live together and she left the house like that, then he saw it and she was gonna do it anyway. It's like, you don't tell me what to do. Ain't no ring on these fingers. But I don't think that she really took his feelings into account.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Because I want to hear from the men too before I get to Adina. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, does intention matter? Like, what if she like, she didn't think anything about it. She thought she looked cute. She, getting her mom her body back, and she wants to express it. Her intention really wasn't to, dishonor their family or anything. Like, does that matter, or should she have known better? What do y'all think?
Well, I think men need to learn this lesson and learn it very, very well. I'm tired of seeing men go through this. It's like, number one, you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. You cannot. When you met her, this is how she was dressing, and you liked it. So don't get her and then after try to convert her into some, wearing these frocks down to her ankles with sneakers. Like, don't try to do that. You got her. She was wearing this. Accept her as what she is and stop trying to change people. That is my thing. So if he met her and this is what she was wearing, I have a problem if he expects her to stop doing that just because they're together or because she had a baby. That's crazy to me. Let her be who she wants to be, and then you decide if that's what you want to deal with or not. The only time I have a problem with people is when they switch up. I met you. You were wearing dresses down to your ankles, and then now you want to switch it up and start to go to the club looking all bootylicious and all that. That's the only problem that I have.
Oh, Thaddeus brings up a good point. Was she like that before? Let me hear you guys in the chat. We're talking about the Keke Palmer situation.
I'm really sure she was like that before. There's no way that she
So Charlie says Keke Palmer do talk too much. She did act like a bust out, but people made him talk on social media. Okay. So Lucky Number Kevin says that was inconsiderate. All the way there podcast says facts. And she's agreeing. Okay, they're agreeing. So man, okay, so that's a good point. Like, but I'm guessing maybe she's thinking, or some people may think like, okay, or he's thinking, she's now a mom. Like, is that supposed to change how you dress now that you have kids?
Here's my thing. My thing is, if he met her and she was already dressing this way, he accepted it. It's what attracted him to her. So why change now? Like, there are pictures that he has posted of her being in less than what she had on at a concert in front of thousands of individuals. And later on, he posted that he knew what she had on before she left the house.
Oh.
So I think that his problem should have been held in-house. He should have waited until she got home and said something instead of putting it out there for social media, thinking social media was going to take his side when he's also posted pictures as being a quote-unquote dad that didn't necessarily have to make it to the light of day as far as the internet is concerned. I also think Keke Palmer, being an entertainer, knew exactly what she was doing. She was an entertainer being entertained by another entertainer and not trying to do him or anybody else any harm. Because at the end of the day, it's just somebody going to a show. I mean, he serenaded other people. He serenaded Issa Rae. You didn't see her husband clowning on social media. You know, he serenaded Kerry Washington. You didn't see her husband cutting the fool either. So it's, if anything, I've seen a lot of men say, if Usher singing to my wife or my girl gets me all hot and bothered, then you know what? That's a win-win for me when she comes home.
Really? Listen, y'all. So it looks like I'm hearing from most of y'all, it should have been like kept in-house. And if she was like that before, don't expect her to change. So it looks like from a male's perspective, you guys aren't really expecting when she becomes a mom to change that. Adina, how about you? What did you, because I know you're a mom, I'm a mom. Like, what did you think about, seeing her in that kind of way?
I thought she looked great. I know she's having this I don't think resurgence is the word, but again, for the sake of conversation, she's having this resurgence around her, becoming a mom, and her body is like more voluptuous than it was prior to her having her son. And so I think she's relishing in that. And I think that he could have kept that in the house. He could have texted her. That could have been a text conversation, unless this is something that they set up to happen, because she ain't said nothing, quite honestly, about it. So, and she's capitalizing on it. She made merch and all kinds of stuff behind it. So I don't know if it was a play or what. I thought she looked good. I mean, everybody is, like Tori said, everybody's down to the Usher residency down in the Las Vegas. He's singing to everybody. He's humming and carrying on in everybody's face. Okay. So it wasn't a thing. And plus, like Tori said, she's an entertainer. She's going to put on. So even if it was extra, or that's really how she feels, maybe Usher's one of her favorite artists, whatever the case, I think she looked great. I think that, if you're in a relationship, sure, his opinion should be, a part of your thought process. But at the end of the day, it's some things that happen when you're pregnant and you get to feeling some kind of way after having children, that not a lot of women will pop out like that. And I think that a lot of men feel like women, once they have children, they should be subdued or, not relish in the fact that they have just brought life into this world. And I think that while she could have considered his opinion, I didn't know that he knew that she had on what she had on. Like, just let that woman be great. Okay, nobody knows what her birth story was like. Nobody knows what her carrying that baby was like, honestly, like, because we see the good stuff on the internet. So I think there's a whole nother side. And as being a mom, I feel like if you got it to do it, then do it. Because carrying humans is not an easy task.
Carrying humans.
It's not an easy task. And if you can go out and have a good time and be snatched doing it, well, damn it, do it.
No! Even at the cost of your relationship?
Listen, if he wasn't insecure, he wouldn't have been on Twitter.
Oh my God. You know what? I mean, I totally agree that I think she was being an actress. I do think the way she was acting and carrying on, she was just, being an actress. I don't think she really was, trying to entice or seduce Usher or anything like that. But I do think, because of how I am, that the outfit wasn't appropriate. And not only was it inappropriate, she turned around and showed the cheeks to Usher. Like, the way she was acting, like, to me, if you have a man that might be disrespectful, but in the industry, they do dress like that when they go out and perform. So I guess you got to know who you got and what you're working with.
It's women that work for the government. They show up at the grocery store like that too. So, I mean,
Yes. Okay. And Nadia is a gem. Hi, welcome to the show. What if she got dressed at her friend's house and he didn't see it? Charlie said, we didn't care what she wore. People made her check him. Probably a bunch of dudes that can't have a chick like that. A lot of men these days be kitty cats.
Thank you, Charlie. We appreciate it.
Man. Okay, so it's good to hear the different opinions, but it's good. I think we should do a conversation at one point about, what if your man has comments about your outfit? Should you go and change it? Should you model what you look like to make sure your husband or significant partner is okay with it? That would be a good discussion. Hey, Anisha, welcome to the show. Okay, so we're just getting started now. We're going to talk about preferences. Now, as always, I like to kind of start it with people's personal experience. How old? Let's say our age first, because I think that does matter. If you guys are okay with it, I want to say ages. I'm 38. Anyone else want to share their age?
I just turned 40. Woo!
40! Woo! Anybody, Thaddy, how old are you?
So 40 as well.
40, team 40. Aaron, Tori, do you guys want to share?
Go ahead, Tori, because I know I'm the elder statesman.
43.
43.
I'm in preschool here. 55.
55. All right.
Nice.
So I love that because, like I said, I think, especially for the young kids watching, this is a really healthy conversation because, again, so let's talk about from the time you were, let's say, your early 20s to now. Has your preferences changed? Like, are preferences just as important to you as they were when you were younger? What do you guys think? And just hop in.
Not as much. I mean, they do exist, but it's not as shallow as it was.
I hear you.
Okay, so at first, like, it was kind of how the person looked mattered a whole bunch.
Yeah,
more.
it was very, vanity driven. He got to be this tall. He got to be this chocolate. He got to be this. He got to be cut up from the butt up. He got to be. Then you get outside, you do your little piece of life. You realize everybody ain't cut up from the butt up. Everybody ain't chocolate. Everybody ain't this. But people have great personalities and they treat you well.
Yes.
And so
Right.
that starts, the shift starts to happen. And so I know we'll probably get into it really heavy on the vanity part, but because the vanity part is what gets you messed up in the end. That's the part that ends up tearing you down. Now you might get lucky. You might get your vanity point and you might get you a good personality and a good soul. You might do, but you might don't also. And you got to be okay with that.
Chances are you ain't.
Hello?
Yeah.
More than likely. It
Okay,
ain't finna gonna.
so are we saying that people that are highly attractive, that it's rare that they're good, decent people?
I think so.
Adina!
I do. I don't think it's all of the things. Like, I don't think it's like an end all be all, but most people are, hyped up about their looks because, and they kind of walk in the room like the peacock, they're straightened, you know what I mean? So when they come into the room and they're attractive, they know they're going to draw all of the attention, and their confidence, honestly, most time is very pseudo confidence. It's not real confidence.
Ooh, come on.
It's based on the fact of how they look and the responses that they've garnered from people over the years based on their looks.
Right.
And so when you get to meet them, first of all, they don't have any depth. They got some, they hiding it. They don't even know where it's at most times. So when you start to have conversation with them, you like,
Yeah.
Ooh.
now how the world did I end up here with this dummy? Like, you feel away.
Mhm.
So, I don't think that it's all of them, but I do think that it's a large portion of them.
Mhm.
Okay, so at first you were looks driven for the most part, and then through life experiences, you started finding out that there's more than that. What do you guys think? Come on, hop in the conversation, y'all. I know y'all have some women that you met
I
that
would
were
have.
beautiful.
I
Come on
haven't
now.
matured. I haven't matured past that yet. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Really? We couldn't tell. 2.5 years of watching you. We couldn't tell that at all.
Like for real, like I remember we're talking about preferences, right? So that's more like this is your type, right?
Yeah.
So I remember like my first day in kindergarten. I remember I saw this girl, and I thought like, wow, this girl is amazing, and that has been my type from since kindergarten.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I am so serious.
Woo,
My
and-
first girlfriend was actually in I think either first or second grade. Like that, my girlfriend. Like this was like I wanted to marry her. I even wrote her a note, like letting her know. Like, yeah, I know, and it was so embarrassing because my dad got it and he read it to the entire church.
to the
Yeah, I wanted to crawl in a hole and die. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
not the church. Lord have
That's
mercy.
how the church folk be. You got to watch them. You got to watch them.
They definitely had a good time at my expense. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
God. So Thaddeus,
But-
have you noticed that preference has helped you in any sense? Or do you think it's kind of hindered you from finding the right person? Because he's still single out.
Well, because the thing is, like, if you have a type, that means that you're cutting off a lot of the population. Like, you're limiting your choices. So you just have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that.
Mhm.
So you're okay with that, Thaddeus?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So does that type of woman that you like, does it normally come with things that you don't want to deal with? Like, do you think it's healthy for you to keep going after that same kind of woman?
The thing with me is, I'm one of those people. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. Like, I can't fake it. I'm not mature enough to just be like, well, she has a great personality, so let me just overlook the fact that I don't like looking at her face. I can't.
Ooh, Lord!
I can't do that.
Now, I don't think nobody should do that.
Right, but that is
shouldn't
ain't
do
no.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm meeting you and I'm looking at things, like I'm trying to find something about you that I like. I tried to do that a couple times, and yeah, after a while, it was clearly apparent that that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But Thaddeus, ain't no other type you like. Like, that's the only one.
Like if you look at my girlfriends, like you will see a pattern.
Yeah.
They all look exactly like, except for one, but they all look alike, all of them.
Ooh. So
Hmm.
before I hear the other guys, Charlie said, "All right, I'm ready to hear the ladies talk about how they wanted too much and mad at us because they still ain't got no man." Wow. We will get to that. We'll get to, our people's preferences unrealistic at some point. But listen, so Thaddeus is sticking with it, 40 years old. He's still gonna keep going after those same women. Okay.
That's it.
How
Like
about
like I said, I've tried it, and that's not gonna work. Like I like what I like. That's it.
that's
That's
it? You
it.
don't find anyone else
That's it.
attractive.
We don't want you dating wildebeest now, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. What about you, Aaron and Tori? Tell me.
I think intelligence is beauty. I've never had a type. I've had
Hmm.
about 9 girlfriends in my life, and they all are all over the place. Short, tall, dark, light. But I was always attracted to the inner person than the outer person. Because if you're attracted to someone because of the way they look, 30 years from now they're gonna look different. You're gonna have to have something anchored in that keeps drawing you in. For me, it's intelligence. I love to have conversations with intelligent people. And so that's always been my thing. So I ever said, "Ooh, that's my type." I don't know if you're my type until we talk.
Ooh, so you're like a sapiosexual. They say like you kind of get aroused and turned on by the mental.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
That's
part.
hot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, when you pick those types of women in the past, do you have positive, negative? Like,
Well, I had to grow to pick those people because
okay.
yeah, yeah, because I did pick some duds, who I met their representative,
Mhm.
and then when rubber met the road, and it's like melted rubber. It's like, okay, well, what happened to this? What happened to that? So, example was I met a girl who, I don't drink, and I don't really want to date anybody who does. And she's like, no, I don't drink. I don't drink, man. About a year into that relationship, she was hiding drinks. She was every time I saw her, she was chewing gum, and it's coming out of her pores.
Oh,
Like,
Lord.
well, I know I ain't drinking, so what's that alcohol smell? So,
That ain't the alcohol from underneath the cabinet in the bathroom, is it?
right.
Oh, my
Because she
God.
finally said,
Oh,
look, I'm gonna have me a drink. I was like, okay, cool. Voice got deeper and everything, but I like intelligence. Intelligence, I guess if that's a type, then that's mine.
Ooh, okay. Love to hear the different perspectives. Listen, y'all in the chat, let me know what y'all think. Have you gone after a certain type? Has that helped, not helped? Have you noticed that, you've got issues with preference issues? Tori, tell me what's been up.
Charlie is a fool. Is that the Charlie that usually sits?
Yes, that's Charlie.
Dude is ignorant.
Charlie is off the charts, honey.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Touré.
my preferences have adjusted
Okay.
as I've gotten older. Fresh out the gate, I was more into how a person looked. Until sometimes I open the package and realize it's nothing but a box of rocks, and I can't really have a conversation. Like the stuff that I'm into, that person can't relate to. Like if I meet somebody who dresses a certain way, but they like going to the club 3 or 4 times a week, and I've been there, done that, doesn't really appeal to me, then I'm realizing, as time goes by, we have less and less in common. And then as you get older, you want more substance than you do flair. So with that being said, there's a lot of substance and very well, there's not a lot of substance, there's a lot of flair. Like you can find that all over the internet. And then people have learned to give off a representative like they have substance until times get really tough, and then you see that fake substance start to melt away, and you see them for who they truly are. So I don't have deal breakers per se, not like I used to. I mean, I have more non-negotiables as I've gotten older. That it's either going to be this way, or I'm 100% comfortable just being by myself.
Ooh, okay. I that's very interesting what you said. about that, the preferences. Okay, so it's kind of changed. So what I'm hearing from everyone is that, except Thaddeus, is that maybe their preferences when you first get out the gate, it might be more physical, and then you learn as through experience that it's more how the person is, their personality, or who they are and what they bring. Okay, so that's interesting. Let me get some comments in here. Oh my God, look at Charlie. Charlie said, "I'll never date a girl with a flat booty again." Charlie, why? Charlie, why?
He felt back to back.
Flat booty lives matter. Flat booty lives matter.
You like back shots, huh? Because you just do it missionary. What are you talking about?
Bless it, Holy Ghost.
Look, Nadia said, "I have a type BMW." She said, "Black man working."
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now she's got to have a job. Okay.
Because it ain't a lot of them that like to do that.
Oh God! Oh my! Don't start that. We have 3 black men on the line.
And all of them are gainfully employed. Praise the Lord.
Thank you. Anisha said, "Need more than just a pretty / handsome face. What else will keep you when that individual ages?"
Yes.
That's true. Even though some people age like fine wine.
Okay.
Look at it, Adina. Ding. All the Way There podcast says, "I've definitely had a type in the past. I've grown to more mature things. A person being authentic and true to who they say they are is important to me." Okay. So it's interesting because I think, again, the different age groups means a difference. So those young people watching this, especially, the girls and the guys thinking, hey, I'm going after looks, you will see that will change. So get you somebody now that you're younger. So by the time you get to our age, you're not like all single and kind of lost out on some great people, I think. What y'all think? What do you think for young people? What would y'all say to them? Would y'all say
they ain't dating, honey? They don't care. These people out there for the peen in the vagina, honey. People is not dating. They is looking for people's wallets. Amen. They want your wallet to be green and blue. Amen. They don't care nothing about what you look like, what you doing in the future, what your goals is. They don't care about none of that. They don't care if you got a pension, a 401k, a Roth IRA, a traditional. They don't care about none of that. They want to know what you got right now and what is happening in your drawers.
That's true.
Pretty much.
That's true.
Oh, damn.
Most people think a pension is what you do with your 2 fingers.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
It's true. Have y'all ever watched this stuff on TikTok and this stuff on these shorts on YouTube? I'll be looking and I'll be like, this is toxic. You poor people. Like, I feel bad for the saints. Like, what in the world is going on? And this whole dating idea, I know this whole dating idea is trash because a lot of people, that's what they looking for. Nobody wants to really be, I don't want to say nobody, right? But just for the sake of conversation, it's like nobody really wants commitment. Nobody's thinking long term. Everybody's very much so short term. I don't have it in me. It's like, and when I hear people say, well, marriage don't really matter to me and commitment don't really, okay, you sound like somebody that's not, you don't even know who you are because you might like that, and then you end up in these spaces with them and they actually want those things, but then they try to stay it so hard and it's polygamy for me and I need 50 people so everybody know, but I ain't cheating. And it's like, listen, and no knock to people that are in polygamy because people like stuff like that, or polyamory. That's the one. The peoples is doing it. People is, I guess, getting by, but I mean, go off, sis. Go, y'all. Look at them people in the face.
It's just like the failure of society. That's basically what it is. Like,
go ahead.
Yeah. So, and that's what we have boiled down to. Is like there's no dating. Like people don't date. We just hunch. Sometimes we hunch exclusively for a while, but pretty much that's all it is.
Yep.
Is nobody wants the pressure of long term. Like long term. Like I was just telling somebody today. Like I was talking to her. I was like, listen, marriage is boring. It's boring. It's boring. Like, yeah, it is. It is. It's boring. Like, it's just routine. There's no fun in it. Like, life is just kind of like what you kind of make it. So, people come into marriage expecting some, this. They're going to open the marriage box and just all of a sudden just be so happy and fulfilled and all of these wonderful things that people see on TV. But that's not the way it is. And no, we've taken that and now put it to relationships. and then realize that relationships suck as well. They
Oh,
work. So then we take it down a notch, and it's just like friends with benefits, or we just hunching. Like no, that's where we are today.
I think that the problem though is that people don't people don't realize that they get to create their own marriages.
Yeah.
Like you create
Exactly.
your own marriage. What you see on TV might not be what you
But
get.
that
But
takes
even
work.
if people,
That takes work, and nobody's not trying to work.
right, and that's what I was about
That's
to
true.
say. It's like
Yes.
the people don't want to work for nothing. They don't even want to go get no damn job. They don't want to do that, but they want to make 60, 70, 80, you know what I'm saying, on and on for nothing. And it's the same. It's exactly what Thaddeus said. It's like the destruction of the world. You know what I mean? Everybody
Right.
thinks that everything is handed out, and that's not the way it goes. Just because your, toilet paper can show up in your door at your doorstep in 20 minutes doesn't mean the rest of your life happens that
come
way.
on now. Well,
Right.
woo, love it. All
I
right.
wouldn't
So,
categorize marriage.
So
as
everybody's out here playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like everybody just trying to just catch them all. Right? Yeah, that's pretty much
gotta
what we're
catch
doing.
'em all.
Like, if you had it, like a lot of people with preferences, women and men alike, they're just trying to go through the list. And when you hear people talk about like dating, it's never dating with a purpose. It's just dating as an end. Like dating is just an end, an end goal, which means that I'm just out here trying a whole bunch of different things. Like most people, they like the excitement of a new relationship. Going from relationship to you. You get to check out your preferences, see what you like. If you have a certain type of man that you like, then that's the same person that you keep just dating over and over again. If you're a guy, you might want to, hey, I want to get an Asian. Hey, I want to try a white girl. Hey, I want to try, just to see, just to try to go through all of them to see which one is your favorite.
So, do you think preferences are bad? Do you think people should have a list of things that they are looking for in a partner? Or do you think that kind of limits them? You know what I mean? Like, what's the in between? Because it's like you got to have some kind of standard or some expectation for the person you date, but you do want to be open so that you don't miss out on someone that might be for you. So, do you think it's okay to have preferences? Or, as I've heard someone says, there are preferences and there's things you need versus the things you want from someone. So,
I
maybe
think-
be more negotiable on the things you might want, but have a list of things you need from a partner. Go ahead, Tori. What were you saying?
I think a lot of people, when they decide to have a quote unquote list of preferences, is that some of the preferences that they have are also something that they can give to an individual as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people have preferences and things that they would like in a person that they can't offer themselves.
Ooh,
Like, they might want honesty, but they're a dishonest person.
ooh.
I think they need to do a self-analysis and be like, okay, you know what? The things that I want in somebody is also the same thing that I can give to them. And that way it doesn't make their preferences unrealistic.
Woo! Tori, lot of mercy. That is for real. And I wanted to do an exercise. Everyone who's watching this episode and you're single, I want you to write a list of the profile of the person that you typically date. Write those characteristics down of your preference, the kind of person that you want, and the type of person that you normally date. And like Tori says, do you match up with that kind of person? If you want somebody who is attractive, so are you, fit? Are you gonna go mesh with that person? Those kinds of things that people aren't being honest about. I love that, Tori. Very good. Anybody else? What do you guys think about? Is it okay to have a list of the things you want from a partner? Should you be more open? Like, what do you guys think about people having a list?
I think you should have a list, but I think you should have a list of standards. Like someone said, the standards are not going to change, but I think the list is wrong when it's vanity, just vanity based, because again, I mean, nobody's going to look the same over years. So come on, basing a relationship on how someone looks and that's your motivating factor, or that's what makes you go into for the kill. It's kind of shallow on your part. It kind of shows shallowness on your part too. But I think you should have standards, and those things should be listed. But vanity and
I think that's
you can go buy them.
People end up cheating, man.
Say what?
I think that's why people end up cheating.
Why?
Because they're not attractive.
No, I mean, but like it goes beyond just your face. I mean, it's just how somebody is, like their personality, maybe their character. not character, let's say not character, but their personality, like how they are, how they move, how they walk, how they carry themselves. It might not be a testament of their character, but it's their part of their personality. It's part of their swag. It's what makes them who they are. What makes you want to be around that person. And what you'll do is you'll say, okay, well, I don't need that. And you'll go with somebody who say, well, they have a certain character that might be better for me long term. Like you try to rationalize it, try to use logic, and then you just with this person and you just realize that I don't really like this person. Like I don't crave their presence. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because attraction, like sex
You
and
can't- you
attraction
can't-
or chemistry
yeah, you
is
can't-
so big.
you
Like,
can't negotiate that though. You can't
Ex-
negotiate attraction.
so
You
that's
like who you like. So you with this person and you just don't like them. You know, she takes off her clothes and you just like, you know, you're just unmoved. And then you go to work and then there's this girl, you know, Stacy, she works next to you and she's brought up against you and you're like, my God, like, you know.
Well, that's easy remedy. I mean, if Stacy rings her bell, go back and tell the girl whose nakedness turns you off, okay, this is over and I'm moving on. That
Yeah.
way you don't have all this stuff going on. So and my question now is, why would you even be with the person in the first place if she's turning you off? And
Yeah, but
you know before
well, you just said that.
Stacy is attracting
Yeah,
you. So
Yeah, but you just said that it's just you don't go based on just the looks. So if you're not going based on looks, then you know Stacy ain't got nothing going on upstairs, you know. Or
okay, so who are you gonna pick, Stacy or the girl that's ugly naked?
He's gonna pick both because he's gonna
None
have
of
a
them.
work wife.
no.
oh,
No,
sorry. The thing is
Well.
that attraction does play. We can't say that attraction doesn't play a role, right? And so we can't say, "Hey, it's just only about how the person's personality is." You're gonna want to have sex with the person. You're gonna want to find them attractive. So we can't take desire out of the equation. But there's got to be a balance. Like, what's the balance?
I mean,
think
you can meet a
where the
smart
balance
person
comes
and they
in
don't have to be ugly.
is when you're thinking long term. So if you're thinking short term and you're just dating, like we're all doing, right? You know, dating, which is we're just everything is short term. Then yeah, you want to focus. You will focus more heavily on the things that make you happy in the moment, right? You know, the things that how does this person make me feel? Now, when you're talking about long term and you're talking about 30, 40 years and you're planning that far in the future, then yeah, you want to know about the person's character, where they're headed in life, those things. And that becomes more important. However, I still think that people should stick with their type. I would go as far as saying, like, if I'm talking to a girl, I always want to see what your ex-boyfriends looks like. If none of them don't look like me, I'm going to tell you it's been real, but you
Wow, man.
I need to make sure that I'm your type. If I'm not your type, please don't talk to me. I'm not an experiment. Don't try to experiment with me. Yeah.
But that's what you do.
No, I don't. I tell you, I have a type, and I stick to my type.
But you just told the girl, if she's not your type, don't experiment with you.
No. If I'm not her type,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
Don't experiment with you.
yeah, don't experiment with me. I'm not experimenting.
So how are people supposed to get to know different types of people? Do you
You're
not
not-
think
you're
that
not-
people
you're
should
not
do
wrong.
that? People should
You-
just stick to what they like.
Well, they could do whatever they want over there, but you're not going to play with my heart. You know, experimenting with me. That's what you're not going to do.
But what if you're an upgrade from her exes? Then what?
Did you not? I am not an experiment. Okay, I'm not an experiment.
what?
Upgrade, downgrade, nothing grade.
It's the way I'm confused real bad.
Adina, you were gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
I don't even know, child. I guess because I'm not a person that is stuck on one particular type of person.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know a million great people, not literally, okay?
Mhm.
I have gotten to know a lot of really dope men, like platonic friendships, you know, from on to romance,
Mhm.
just by being open to people.
Mhm.
So, like, and there's some people that, you know, some men that I've met that were super intelligent and didn't necessarily fit my aesthetic, right? Didn't fit, you know, they
Mhm.
weren't aesthetically pleasing to me, but they were dope people. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't write them off. I mean, I wasn't necessarily trying to sign up for marriage, and I wouldn't date them because they were not visually, appealing to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
But I got to know them and I thought they were really dope people. And the people, excuse me, and some people that I've dated and also married weren't necessarily my aesthetic, but I did find them to be attractive on top of the fact that I found them to be intelligent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
my first husband was super attractive, right? So he puts you in the mind of the rock, right? And so he was super attractive to people in their eyeballs, but in real life,
Woo! All
it
right
was a
now.
lot going on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That wasn't really going on. So he was really duping people. And
Mhm.
people thought that he was really like smart. But like when you started to talk to him and it started to break down, it was a little different.
Mhm.
But I also was 25 the first time I got married,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be married. And then he ended up cheating the whole marriage because he didn't find me aesthetically pleasing, right? But he married me because he thought that it was the next thing to do.
So that's my point. You just thank you for proving my point. Thank you.
Well, never mind.
Thank you.
We'll be nice.
Thank
You know what happened last time, Adina? Thank you very
He
much.
didn't like black women, and he didn't have balls enough to admit that he didn't like black women.
Exactly. And so
And he's
what
married to a white woman right now.
exactly. So
So,
if had he been
How
true
you
to-
get with my chocolateness and you don't even like black women? It's confusing to me, but you couldn't even say that. So I had to tell you who you liked, and then you admitted it. Like,
yeah,
what is we
because
doing?
he was trying, he was trying to do the mature thing. And that's why I said I would never do that. I would never do that to someone.
Yeah, but that's trash to do, period. I don't
Yeah,
care if you look like a
but
dime, a quarter, or 2 cents on
That's
the
what we're talking about right now. Is about preferences. His preference is obviously white women.
That's fine.
So if you have a preference of a white woman, like why would you be trying to date black women?
Because your mother is pro-black.
I want to say his mama, his
black
mom.
was the thing to do.
Listen,
That's
ain't
why.
nobody's going. No. Like listen,
Because you didn't do that. You don't even have the
If-
wherewithal
yeah.
to stay. Again, you don't know who you are. So you do things based on other people's expectations as opposed to what it is that you want, feel, and desire. Because you're scared of what that's going to lead you to.
I know who I am, and then that's why on the flip side, if I don't see a certain pattern, like I'm not doing it. Like let me see your exes. Let me see how they look.
I don't understand that part, but okay.
Man, I got a question because I know
it's plain and simple, right? If all her exes, right? Let's say she is 35, and up to this point, all of her exes were, with the dreads, maybe tattoos, real thug-looking guys, right? And then she's trying to come. I don't have dreads. I'm the farthest thing away from a thug that you can. I'm pretty much damn near a nerd. And like I've had women like that, right? So they're tired of dealing with all these jerks and and they want to try something new. And I tell them all the same thing. I will not be your experiment. I will not be. I'm sorry. I see that you have a type. I don't have no tattoos. I don't sag my pants. I don't drive a Camaro. I don't fit that bill. This is me. Like Charlie said, if you only eat beef hot dogs, don't try the pork. Like,
well, first of all, the pork gonna kill you when you come over. Okay. Stick with the beef, sis. Okay.
So I got a question.
Tell me,
I got a
Tori.
question for you, Dan. So I know you're big on patterns, okay? And you have a type, which one could say is a pattern for you. If you're single, does that mean maybe your pattern isn't working?
No, I'm just retarded. I actually had, I'm just gonna be honest. I've had girls who fit the bill as far as like my type, and who are perfect in every way, and I just kind of screwed it up. I would say that. I would admit that. It's not for lack of options, It's not for lack of options.
Is your pattern meeting your type but screwing it up?
Yeah. Well, no. That's not the pattern. I just did it a couple times. Just a couple.
Lord, okay, we're gonna All right, so
Moving
let's get some
on.
comments. Charlie made an interesting thought. He said, "Aaron, don't start telling men to have standards. Some women don't like that. You got to take them as they is."
Goodbye, Charlie. Go on and
That,
sit
br-
in the
that
corner,
brings
sir.
an interesting thought because I have heard men say that women could have this long list of things, preferences that they want in a
Mhm.
man, but men, there's this whole movement like, you just have to accept the woman how she is, flaws and all. Do you guys men feel like that?
Beautiful
Do
at
you
any
feel that
every
it's not,
size,
that it's
any
not fair?
size.
Mm-mm.
Y'all feel like it's not fair? Tell me, guys, on
Um,
the line.
well, I don't care because I would never kowtow to the to the internet. They're just trying to bully men into accepting women at any size, and just you have to accept me at my worst. And if you can't accept me at my worst, then you can't you can't have me at my best, and all the crazy crap they say. And I'm just like, miss,
Mhm.
no.
I think it has a lot to do with maturity, though. I mean, you asked the question, do we think it's unfair? I don't think that women make more lists than men. Maybe you guys do, but it depends on the maturity level. You know, women my age in the 50s, I think a lot of those women have said, skip that. I just
They
want
don't got a
somebody.
choice.
They do. They have choices. There's a lot of there's a lot of single guys my age that you know, they're faithful guys, they're working guys, they have children, they may have grandchildren, but they just want a woman who loves them for them. And that's what women want at this stage. Hey
Okay.
man, look, I snore. So what? My grandchildren want to come over. So what? It's no big deal. We want to see what your deal breakers are. We want to see if this is like a thing for you. And a lot of times at 50, man, ain't nobody worrying about that stuff, man. It's like, are you coming home to me all the time? And
Ooh!
do you have a problem with having one bank account? That kind of serious stuff. Not like, what's your measurements? How much do you weigh? All that crap. It's like, look, it's like I've never in my whole existence never dated a girl because of her figure. And most of the girlfriends I've always had have been plus size girls because I didn't care about that. It just wasn't a big thing to me. I just wanted to find a wholesome girl, number one, who loves God, and we can have a conversation about God without me saying Genesis is the first book of the Bible.
Because that's really where the turnoff is. Okay?
That part. In the beginning. This is
So
the end.
Tori, do you feel like women have more standard, expectations out of men than men do of women? Do you find that? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I think so because a lot of women still want security and stability.
Mhm.
And I mean, I've yet to meet a woman that didn't put that in their top 3 or 4 when they want to meet somebody. Men don't necessarily care about a woman being secure financially or financially stable because we look at the fact that, well, some of them look at the fact that, okay, well, men are supposed to provide and protect. So, like, that onus is on us. I mean, but you do have some men that want to be taken care of, but that's a different day, a different conversation that they need to have with a therapist or somebody.
Right.
But yeah, I think a lot of women are brought up to have, I need the tall, dark, handsome, or he's got to be muscular and all of this jazz. Whereas men not necessarily have to go that route. Like Aaron said, you want somebody that's gonna accept you for you, somebody that's gonna make a house a home. Whereas, women have, like I said, this extensive list of, well, he's got to be this tall, he's got to do this, he's got to do that. If we procreate, my kids are going to look like this. Men don't have those type of conversations.
Right. And plus you guys got other things that challenge you guys that don't challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know a lady who was 40 who never been married, never had kids. So she's thinking about kids and how she can actually do it. Men, we ain't thinking about that.
Skip it, sis. Just skip it. Skip it, girl. Skip it.
Right.
Okay, so I want you guys to you guys want to share any experiences that you've had in terms of choosing someone that perhaps wasn't really your type And, how did that work out for you? Have you guys had success? You guys said, okay, we get to a certain age where we're not with the looks anymore or those preferences. Have you found some success in being more open? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've had success with that. I had more successes than failures.
Okay.
But one of the and the only reason the successes didn't work is because there was some things going on externally. Like her mother's always, where y'all going? All that kind of stuff. I was like, why your mama gotta know where we going?
What?
Well, my mama loves me, and it's like, well, you 45.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
but anyway, long story short, my successes were turned into marriage. And for whatever reason the marriage didn't work out, but it lasted over a decade. So I married a girl who was intelligent, was a go-getter. She was very cool. But if I had a type, if I would look at her, I'd be like, she's nice. But when we got to talk, and that just broadened the horizon. So I had more successes than failures.
I felt personally, I did have to get to the point where I did have to make that list because I felt like I was always going after or entertaining the same kind of guy. And I did make that profile of that person. I'm like, man, these guys, although they're, making six figures or have really good paying jobs, we can have really deep intellectual conversation and that kind of thing. A lot of those men were emotionally unavailable, as they like to say. Like a lot of them had never been married, never really have serious relationships. And it's like, yeah, I could have these great conversations and we'd be on the same page. But at the end of the day, they weren't really committing. So
Right.
I did have to change my, and kind of put that needs. These are like the 5 things that I really need from a partner, and became more open to different people. And I find that is being a lot, helping me a lot more. And I'm finding, better suited people for me. Because I know we were raised, I think society, the things we see on TV, just the social media makes you think like, okay, the ideal person should look like this, should be like this. But I'm urging people to look at what is going to work best for you personally. Doesn't matter what your friends, because I know that's a big influence. Your family might make jokes on the guy or the woman. Your friends might look at you like, ooh. But what is going to work for you? What can that person bring to your life? We have so many different dynamics. Like I'm a single mom, maybe someone who's going to want to be kind of a father role is more important to me than perhaps, you get what I'm saying? So I'm really urging everyone to look at where you're at right now. Forget the lens of your friends, the society, what you've seen, and what benefits or what asset can someone bring to my life, for where I'm at right now and where I'm trying to be in the future. Anybody else want to kind of share their experience on if you've been successful at changing how you view your preferences? Thaddeus. Maybe Thaddeus have to wait till he's 50. Let's see. 10 years later, we'll have Thaddeus back on. Be like, Thaddeus, do you still care?
That'd be the comfy couch then.
I still care.
What about y'all?
I've had success in it. I ended up actually like really falling head over heels for a guy that would have not fit my former aesthetic. But our conversations are like, they were always really like, I'm speaking in several tenses, my apologies, but they were always very like, it was one of those conversations that you just wanted to keep having. You know what I mean? Like you just wanted the conversation to always continue. And he just aesthetically didn't fit, I guess, my norm. But he was a really, really great guy. And again, a relationship didn't materialize because he had recently gotten out of one that didn't work out well. He had a kid, they had all this stuff going on. But it was a really great, time while the relationship did happen. But I'm with you, Nicole. I tell people like, try something different. Like you never know what you're gonna get. Like
He said experiment.
I mean, but that's what dating is. Like that's what the point is.
Exactly.
But
Right.
And that's why I tell people, like, just don't have me as an experiment. You know.
Well,
Some
my
people
father
may
has
not-
married 3 different times and married 3 women that look just like my mama. So God bless.
Ooh, wow.
The man has a type. You know, he has a type.
So
You
what
know
about
what?
earlier when we
You know what,
talked
Thad?
about
Some people
ahead.
may not date you as an experiment. They might date you for the experience.
Mm.
And he ain't trying to give it to him because they don't
Right.
look like what he's
Right.
experienced. Amen.
He ain't trying to do that.
So what do y'all think about how we were earlier talking about the whole Kiki thing? And I think Tori brought it up that what about if the things on our list aren't coinciding? So let's say, and Thaddeus said it, kind of turning a hoe into a housewife. So I find that some people want, the guy to have all this swag, to have all this swag and everything, and have his life going for him, and have a swag, kind of make you feel like he's got your back and secure and has that kind of swag, but also wants him to be financially stable, to kind of have, how they say, a good man but a bad boy. And vice versa. I see that kind of guys want women who are gonna, let's say, dress really sexy, and once you step into the room, the guys are gonna be like, oh my God, but then still wants her to be quote unquote submissive, someone who is gonna hold it down in the household. Do you think people should really evaluate, like, okay, if I want this is what comes with this kind of person? Are people realistic with
No.
what comes along with what they want?
Nope.
No.
No.
We all know the answer to that question, right?
Right.
And that's something that each of us has had to figure out. Is like, I always tell people, you cannot have everything. Like, you cannot have everything. You cannot. If this woman, she is pretty, then she probably won't be smart. Like, that's just, I'm not dissing anybody, but that's just the facts. If she has boobs, she probably won't have a butt. If she has boob and a butt, she probably won't have a face. I mean, but correct me if I'm wrong, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Well, first of all, I think I'm attractive and I'm very intelligent. Okay. Jesus Christ.
What? So
Gee.
Thaddeus said you can't have it all. What y'all think?
And we could go beyond just the physical too. For instance, like, you can't have a woman who wants to stay home and then still want an ambitious woman at the same time. It usually doesn't happen that way. If you want a boss chick, she's probably not going to be really submissive either. It's very hard for you to turn that off, and that's something that I had to learn the hard way. If you want the good characteristics, understand that it comes with some negatives. It's not necessarily negatives, but things that you might find negative. Like, for instance, if you find a woman, she is very soft, don't expect her to stick up for you. Like, if you go to a restaurant and you want somebody to send back your food, and all of a sudden you want her to, like, hey, could you just be a B for 2 seconds? It's like, it doesn't work that way. Understand if there are trade-offs in life, and a lot of people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with this trade-off. If you want a highly successful man, like, he's going to be busy. You can't be highly successful and then spend a lot of time with you. It just doesn't happen that way. You want to play a player type guy, and then you want him to be faithful only to you. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
that way.
it doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, and most people, they don't understand that. They want everything. So what happens in today's day is that they'll go with one guy, they'll commit to a guy, and then cheat on him with somebody else. Same thing with the men. They'll have a girl, the good girl, quote unquote, but then they'll have Shaquita on the back end that she does what she does in the nighttime, and that's how we have circumvented having trade-offs, because everybody wants everything.
Well, I think that's the purpose of dating. I mean, if you're dating seriously, then it's going to a place of matrimony, then you guys have to talk about what's got to go when you're creating that little marital culture. If she was the kind that ran around at night, and you say, well, if we're going to continue dating, that's not something I want to do. I mean, you break up if you don't want to that conflict, or somebody's going to have to adjust. I mean, marriage is just that. They need to just rename it compromise. Just not even say marriage, just rename it. Because you're going to have to stop that.
Ain't nobody trying to do that. I'm not trying to adjust.
Nobody wants to do the work, bro. Nobody has that intuitiveness. People don't care enough about people to people with people. You know what I'm saying? People don't. They don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care. People will marry you, lie to you, tell you they gonna be the all the things, and everything you need them to be. And oh, I'm willing to do this for you. I'm gonna be great to you. And then, you know, some real stuff goes down. That could be medical, it could be health, it could be the job, it could be a parent dying, it could be anything. And the next thing you know, you look around and they talking about, well,
Mhm.
you're not meeting my needs. It's like, yo, bro, life just whooped my tail and I'm looking at
Right.
you for solace, and here you are trying to get rid of me because life ain't happened to you yet. Like, what in the hell is going on here?
Or you hear, I never really liked your mama.
Oh,
That kind of stuff.
Oh,
You know?
man, you guys are speaking the truth. That is so true. I love that stick to itiveness you're talking about, because if that's one trait you want to look for in a partner, it's that. When you guys have disagreements or real things happen in life, is that person quick to run away? That is so true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and a
I-
level of consistency that is actual consistency.
Mhm.
You brushing your teeth at 9 o'clock is not consistency in the way that you need to show up in a relationship. That's you brushing your teeth at 9 o'clock every night because you got to be in the bed by 9:05 in order to be able to get up when you got to get up.
Mhm.
Like, be consistent with your person, be consistent in the way that you show up for them.
Mhm.
However that is that they need you to show up, be consistent in that. Be consistent in those things. Like, but people can't do it.
Woo.
They can't find it in themselves to do it for themselves, let alone do it for somebody else.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, you brought up a good conversation about changing a partner. Like, what do you guys think? Because
No.
you know, people thinking like, hey, you know, we could work
Don't
on
do it.
that. You know, when we
No,
get
no.
married,
No.
right? So
Don't do
if
it.
you see the flaws in someone or things you don't desire, you should accept those things, right? You shouldn't think like, hey, and when we get together, when we get married, things are going to change. Like, what do you think about trying to make someone become your preferences? You know what I mean?
It's given you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Right.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
you deal with the flaws and you learn to live with them, or if they bother you that much, you just separate
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no changing.
And
Right.
I heard a woman one time when I was in the house of the Lord talking about women picking men up off the altar, talking about, I got him, Lord.
Mm.
He be done just walked in off the street. He come up there for prayer. Now here you come trying to pick him up, and you think you about to mold him into something.
Mm.
Then you end up having the issue that Wendy Raquel Robinson's character in what is it? Not How to Be a Player. What was the thing? The movie. But she ended up dating Bobby Brown, and he had just got out of jail, and his teeth was all jacked up.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And so, and then he walked past the mirror one day after she put all this money into him, got his teeth fixed, got his jerry curl taken off, got his hair cut, put some good clothes on him. He saw himself in the mirror and he talking about, I'm fine. Now he outside. You know, now you sad and you heartbroken. Like, don't be out here trying to pick up nobody and trying to change them. The
Mhm.
only people that change are people that want to change. You can try to do whatever you want to do, and it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you can forget that.
Yeah,
Mm.
For real.
that's a waste of energy.
Mhm.
An
All right,
absolute
now.
waste.
So
Again, that's the beauty of dating. You figure out, you find the things you don't want, and you know those red flags. Pay attention to them.
Some people
And
don't.
so-
Some
I
people
love that.
become
So again,
colorblind.
people watching this, again, no matter what age you are, learn the lessons here. Okay. How to
Mhm.
select a partner and what comes along with what you're looking for. And also, I don't think people are real about themselves, like the flaws that they have. They be having a
Yeah.
list for people
Yeah.
and don't want to deal with shit, and they got stuff wrong with them.
Yes.
Real
So
bad.
it's like, be real about
Very.
yourself. People gonna have to deal with your shit too. So
Mhm.
why are
Right.
you so, against this and wanting somebody who's perfect that fits the mold?
Right.
Like we all, so if we're saying, so what do you think people should look for? So now let's bring it home, okay? Now that we talked about how preferences are affecting us, if you had to say 3 or 4 things someone, should try to look for in someone, what do you guys think those kinds of things should be?
That's a tough one because we can't generalize it for everybody. Because everybody
That's true.
has their own 1, 2, or 3 things that they're looking for. My top 3 might not be Aaron's top 3.
Mhm.
Or it might not be Thad's or Dina's or anybody else's. So like your top 3 is your top 3 based off of your life experiences and what you hope to achieve within any type of relationship.
Mhm.
So my advice would be for that person to find what their top 3 things are and let that be the thing that they look for, and not base it off of what somebody else's top 3 things are that they might not necessarily like any of those.
Mm-hmm.
And look at yourself too, right? When you're making that list. Yeah, I might have a list of 3 of what I want, but do I go with those 3, you know?
Right.
Am I those 3? Like, do I possess those characteristics? Like, is that a part of who I am? Can I make any changes to be better, to fall in line with the things that I'm requesting of this person?
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, baby, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no legs to stand on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And examine yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go, Aaron, please. Go
Examine
ahead.
yourself of hurts. You know, past hurts can come back to haunt you, and you can really make this potential person suffer because of past hurts. And it's really good to get those hurts resolved before you move on. I mean, it's not a preference, it's not a one of those things, but hurts happen in life, and see if you can repair yourself first before you ruin somebody's life.
But you know what, Aaron? Before somebody does that, they have to be willing to accept accountability for their role in the relationships that they had that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like once they realize their role in whatever relationship didn't work out, then they might be more prone to change what their top 3 preferences are.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly.
Whew.
People are scared of themselves, baby. People are scared of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot more strength to look inside and say, you know, I have a problem with this. And before I enter into a relationship, I really need to fix this. Yeah. Or at least make it so it doesn't hurt anymore.
Right. Not necessarily numbing it, right? But at least, you know, figuring out how to make it feel duller. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And not make that person pay.
Right.
Yeah. So
you guys somebody made me think about when they were saying, what do you think about people complimenting each other? Because we want to look for someone who, you know, matches with us. Do we bring that to the table? But sometimes you feel people make good partners because they compliment each other. Like if you know, aren't good with finances and your partner's good with finances, or, you know, you're not as good on the health tip, but your partner could bring that to you. You know, what do you think about that? Like maybe, you know, people looking for people that they're more can kind of, you know, balance them out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess you have to have, that boils down to patience, because if someone is not something that you are, you have to wait, you have to work, you know, and that's what everybody was saying, that nobody want to do the work, but you have to do that. And then if someone is into the health thing and that person is not so much, you have to be patient with that person. And you can't just like force them to do the stuff that you do, but you have to be patient and love them through it, because that's the thing. Because actually that's what we're talking about. If you have to deal with somebody's flaws, that's love. But to run, you have to question if the person actually was loved. So I don't think that it's a bad thing to be attracted to somebody, because that person could have another area where you're lacking and you kind of complement each other. But both parties need to be extremely patient with the development of the other.
Right. Yeah. And I think there's an approach to it as well. Like if you use the health one, or if you use even the person that's great at finances, but the other person's horrible at it. Like there's an approach in the conversation that you have to kind of make the other person realize, hey, I'm not here to bash you for, you know, not being strong in this particular area. I'm just trying to have us merge together so we can be strong as a collective unit. So I think there's a way that you have to approach that conversation, so the person that might be weak in that area doesn't feel like they're being attacked.
Right.
That's right. So yeah, very interesting. So all things to think about. I think this was a really good conversation. So those of you who are watching, really think about it. Even if you have to watch it again, different age groups, like really think about preferences and how that might be keeping you from finding the one. You guys in the comments, thank you all so much. What'd you say, Aaron?
I said that.
And we'll be back 10 years later to see if that is still on there.
Maybe he'll find somebody that's his type and go on and settle down. That'd be all right. I got your back, Dad. I'm with you.
15 years from now, that's my type is people with teeth. A girl with teeth.
Right.
Exactly.
Good deal.
AARP.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I told you, it hasn't changed from kindergarten.
That girl really did you bad.
So let me ask that this real quick. So what if you find a girl that's your type? She's perfectly your type. She's attitude, everything is your type. And then you ask to see their exes, and they are thugs, right? And but she's your type. She's bringing everything. What? You gonna pass on your type?
Will
doing it.
with I'm telling you, I don't think he knows me. That's why.
Yeah, I don't.
Immediate no. That's an immediate no.
But she's your type.
Immediate no.
What's the immediate?
Immediate no.
Man,
Oh, man.
so you even discriminate against your own type.
Yeah, hell yeah, lots of times.
Man, you gonna enter into heaven single like a mug.
Hey,
And he said he'd be okay with it.
exactly. Thank you. I'm one of those few people that I am good with being alone. Like I'm happy. Like
Wow.
I'm good. Like I am good. I have everything that I've ever wanted or dreamed about. I'm one of those people.
Oh, okay.
I've
Well,
built
you're
a-
right.
Except your dream type girl. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Then.
Right.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Everyone who's been engaging in the chat, everyone watching tonight, y'all have been awesome. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe if you are in favor of our show. I want to thank you again, Aaron. Big shout out for being on the show tonight, coming through for us. Make sure you guys check him out. Again, Aaron, shoot it real quick. Where can they find you?
All the way there podcast Sundays at 4:30, YouTube, Facebook, 7 o'clock on Sunday, The Man Cave.
Okay, perfect. Any lasting words, before? Thank you so much, Tori, Adina, Daddy, for being with us tonight. Any final words before we're gonna tune out now?
Y'all take care of yourselves out there. It's ghetto.
Be safe out there.
It is.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time on My Comfy
Bye.
Couch. Toodles.